Oh, this is going to be fun, folks. This is a new in the box, unassembled Sinclair ZX81. This is a fantastic find over on eBay. I'm really happy to have received this. It's got a little bit of sun discoloration on it. That's all supposed to be red. That's all supposed to be blue. Let's take a walk around the outside and kind of get that experience, and hopefully somewhere through the process we'll be able to figure out just how old this thing is. So your own portable cassette recorder, not included, not essential. Power adapter, manual, the computer itself, and the lead and plugs for the TV connection. As I understand it, and I might be wrong, this came either as a completely assembled device, or a little bit of dust on it, or as a kit that you could put together for a slightly reduced cost. So there we go. It says that on both sides. Nothing special there. Let's crack her open. Double flapped. Wrapped in styrofoam. There we go. Assembly instructions. Dear Kit Builder, congratulations on your purchase of a ZX81 computer kit. We are sure you will get a great deal of satisfaction in using a computer that you yourself built. Lots of instructions. Seek the aid of someone with experience to help guide you. Happy kit building. US version for UHF channel 33. Okay. Read through the instructions, preparation, components list. Not a whole lot of components. That's what I like about this, is that there really isn't a whole lot of components in here. Let's get a better camera setup for you folks. Move this a little farther away from the camera. Just kind of share a little bit about what's going on inside the box here. So 2 pages of components. And they're all listed on a single line. So it's not like one of these is going to say R16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You know, all of these are 1K resistors. So it's actually a very, very small, compact kit. There's a couple of vertically mounted resistors that go in there. Okay, so they're giving you instructions here on where to start, which bits to start with. So a bunch of resistors that lie flat, and then they're telling you that 7 through 14 are mounted vertical. We'll put those in later. And that's always good advice. Start with the stuff that is lower profile first, and then work your way up to higher profile stuff. Otherwise, if you start with something very high profile, then the board tends to rotate and pitch and yaw the whole time that you're doing it. So they give you kind of an order to go through. Next up is all the diodes. Then we do the vertical mounted resistors. Then what? Resistor packs, capacitors, transistors, IC sockets. So they do have sockets. Nice. If they don't have sockets, I'm going to raid my stash and put some sockets in there. Remember to check pin 1 orientation. All pins coming through the PC board holes, and the socket is flush with the PC board. I'll show you some tricks for how to do that. Not that it's rocket science, but you know, if you haven't done this before, it helps. So this is done in the Courier new font. Looks like it came out on some type of typewriter or something, and then was run through a copy machine, because everything's just a little soft focus. Correct installation of KB1 and KB2, the famous keyboard connectors, properly installed. Brand 1 connectors properly installed. Brand 2 connectors. Interesting. 1 up and 1 down. 1 down and 1 up. Okay, that's going to be a little tricky when we get there. That'll make a difference. We'll have to figure that out. Here is figure 6. I guess figure 6 is a part locating diagram. And then this one here is an actual schematic. That's really nice that it comes with a schematic, so in case you needed to do any troubleshooting. Shows you how everything is connected and what you can expect. And then UHF kits card enclosure for 60 Hz USA video. This package contains an extra component necessary for the assembly of this kit. It is R30, a 0.5-inch jumper wire, Insert this component in the position marked R30. Okay, so it says it's only a jumper wire, not a resistor, even though it's called R30. Wires do have their own resistance. Insert the UHF modulator. And then we've actually got to obtain video, display, tune TV between channels 30 through 40. Okay, and then I've actually got a composite mod for this. So let's take a look inside of the foam container. What do we got? What do we got? All right, so new in the bag, it is a computer to rabbit ear connector. So you can connect it up to your TV and then select between using the computer or the television. These types of switches were super common back in the day. I had one of these on my TI-99 4A. I think I had one of these for my Atari also. It's got a self-adhesive pad on the back so you can stick it to your television and not lose it. And then you can connect your antenna through and use that as well. The cables have seemed to have started eating the styrofoam. That's kind of a normal thing that's happening. The cables are getting a little aged and etc. So there's a chemical reaction between the styrofoam and the coating on the insulation on the let's start over with that. There's a chemical reaction that goes on between the styrofoam and the insulation on the cables, and they start to eat each other. And then it will also start to eat through the case of the computer, depending on how you put it away. This is just a regular RCA cable, so straight through RCA cables on each end. This will connect the computer to the television. This is a set of mono audio cables to go to your cassette recorder. So there's those. The case, and the case is kind of heavy, so I'm assuming there's something in there. Okay, case is in really, I mean, as you'd expect for not ever being used or assembled or anything, the case is in really good shape. That's really nice looking. Such a small computer, and it does so much with so little. All right, so the keyboard's got copyright 1980, so that's our oldest date so far. And yep, you can see that one of these cables goes down and one of these cables goes up. And so when we get to putting the connectors on, we've got to put them up and down. Just goes through the case like so. And then the keyboard is self-adhesive and sticks to. It feels kind of dead and mushy, like zero feedback that you're doing it right. Zero feedback that you hit the key. The circuit board, issue 1, Sinclair ZX81. Very nice. This looks like the circuit traces were hand drawn instead of computer drawn. So we've got our keyboard connectors there. They kind of look like they only go in one way, so that works out well. Like the circuit board orientation is upside down for one and right side up for the other. A couple of different sockets there. Still have some mass production connectors. One of the things that people complain about a lot is the earphone, the microphone, and the DC jack are all the same kind of jack, so you can accidentally plug your power supply into the headphone socket and do some damage, or plug it into the microphone socket and do some damage. All right, so this one's also dated 1980. It's just a good looking board. I love the fact that these are rounded over traces and were drawn by hand. That's just awesome. Okay, we got a set of chips and a set of sockets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. So we have the Ferranti ULA. This is the one that does a lot of the control work. We have the NEC branded D780C. We have a couple of Motorola chips, MCM21L14P30, and then we've got this chip over here. And I'm not familiar enough to know what these chips are yet, 100% of them. Resistors and capacitors, capacitors and resistor packs, and a 7805 voltage regulator, some more capacitors, some screws. The 7805 is already bent over for you. How nice. And then the bottom of the case, little styrofoam bunnies, dust bunnies everywhere. Excellent. This thing's just beautiful. All right, let's put this stuff back inside here. We'll put this gently out of the way and we'll take a look at what else is in here. So there is an RF modulator, a couple of mono jacks, a big heat sink, and the cable connectors for the keyboard are in there. And then this is that composite converter that I was telling you folks about. We'll have to figure out how to do that. This is the ZX modification, video in, video out. No instructions there, so I'll have to go look that up because I don't remember how to do that. Some resistors that are pre-bent, a diode that's pre-bent, a transistor, all right, and then the power brick. All right, that's it for the styrofoam. Power brick, 110 volts AC in, 60 hertz. Out is, this is a US power supply. Out is 9 volts DC at 0.7 amps. Disconnect from mains when not in use. So don't leave this thing plugged in all the time. This is pretty heavy, so it's probably one of those potted power supplies. And it's got some flathead screws in it. Let's take a look inside of this, since we're in the teardown phase. Those screws are deep in there. How deep are they? Holy moly, they're deep. Breaking the seal. So it's kind of stuck a little bit there with some self-adhesive inside. It's not potted, that's good. So it's a little bit of serviceability there. A couple of diodes there for your bridge rectifier. Big capacitor, big transformer. Nice, very nice. Excellent. Nope, no date. It does say Adapters and Eliminators Limited, 14 Thames Street, Louth, Lincolnshire. I think that's Lincolnshire. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure you guys will. Telex is 56260 in case you want to get a hold of them. I'm going to get this thing put back together. All right, and we're screwing metal into plastic, and it's already been screwed in once or twice before, so I'm going to turn it backwards a bit to get the threads lined up, if I can get the screw lined up. And then we'll take care of it, get it all done. All right, folks, that wraps this one up. I wanted to do a quick unboxing and go through what you got in the kit, share with you the experience of opening up a new kit. This looks like it's going to be a lot of fun and a relatively straightforward build. I say that with absolutely no foreshadowing involved whatsoever because I have no idea what I'm getting into in terms of how these things work or anything along those lines. I played with them a little bit in the past, in past videos on the channel. Take a look out for those. Otherwise, stay subscribed to the channel as we walk through the journey of building this thing together in upcoming videos. There is a video right here I think you'll enjoy next. Thanks for being awesome. We'll see you in the next one.